What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Brevard College Disc Golf Course and we are testing out distance drivers, but this time it's going to be understable distance drivers. What have we got in the bag for today? We are looking at 11 speeds understable pairing up against the DD, so the distance driver from Discmania with numbers of 11.6, -3.2. We have paired up against it the Proton Vanish from Axiom, 11.5, -3.2. Just looking in the store at the DD that was on the shelf, I have two of these Proton Vanishes, one OTB Open Tour release and one just stock stamp. The stock stamp is 172. The OTB Open is 160. The OTB Open being the lightest of all the discs we're going to test today, but it has the higher parting line. I didn't test it against the Metal Flake, so we'll look at the T-pad. But let's see how the Vanish compares against the DD, or the distance driver from Discmania. So obviously the best place to test distance drivers is going to be this drive and the next drive and a couple over on the backside behind the church. We're going to go with the DD first and then toss the two Vanishes, and then we'll toss this one in. I do want to look at the profiles real quick. So this is the DD, the distance driver from Discmania. This is the OTB Open Prism Proton. Definitely a higher parting line. Look how much more plastic is under than over. And now just the normal stock Vanish. That's a little bit better, but I think this might still be a touch more stable. And then let's put this DD down and look at stock Vanish versus Metal Flake. I think these two are going to fly fairly similar. And then Metal Flake versus the Prism Proton. This has the highest parting line, but it's Prism and it's lighter weight. So we'll see how it ends up playing out today. Like I said, DD, and then we'll go lighter to heavier over towards this power pole that's in the middle so that we have some space to work on. Headwind definitely helped out on that throw. Now we're gonna go with the Prism. Hopefully I'll keep my fingers warm enough so that I don't start to hurt too bad while we're throwing out here. Well, it was nose up too, but it flipped up to dead straight and rode dead straight right up into the air and then straight down. Stock Vanish, what are we gonna get? Remember the tailwind, because I think these two are gonna fly fairly similar. Yeah. Yep. Tailwind definitely stabled out everything. Did you see how much further to the right the C-Line DD was? Keep a track on that, because I think the C-Line DD is amazing and it's going to be perfect for a lot of people. But for pros, it's going to be a roller and they're going to need that more overstable Metal Flake one with a slightly higher parting line. Or you just throw open back and get a Vanish. Switched over. Now the Headwind is definitely a Headwind and it's a little bit more intense. Continuing in the rotating T order, it's going to be Prism Proton, Vanish up first, and all these we're going to be aiming at the football goal and see how much the wind turns them over. A little bit could have been really good. And now the just stock stamp Proton Vanish, the one I'm thinking is probably gonna feel really good for me. That's really nice. Now, the Metal Flake DD. Which means you know what this is going to turn into, right? It went to something else, especially for the DD mold, which is why I think just a couple of times I've thrown them in the wind. That's why I think if I can figure out the Vanish, because the gyro, both gyro discs are lighter than both C-line discs, and both of them flipped up and then faded, or they flipped up and turned and then faded, versus the other two that basically turned into rollers into a headwind. So if I can figure out the Vanish and make it fly the same way in a tailwind, we might be onto something. We're going to leave the C-line DD in the bag for this specific tee shot. We are trying to make it to the left, and these three seem to be able to go left. That DD, I don't think I can throw it on enough hyzer to make it go left. So what was the tee order? It's going to be stock Proton, and then Metal Flake, and then the Prism Proton. We are trying to go left. 350 foot hyzer, pump them on a hyzer, on a steep hyzer, watch them stand up, and then they should be able to still make it back left, as long as I don't throw them too hard. Pretty much just straight, which is still pretty good. Almost the exact same thing. Almost the exact same shape. Now the slightly lighter, but also the highest of the four parting line. Weirdly enough, I'm not sure how they're able to achieve that. Yeah, better control on the precise release point. So that one's going to end up being a better shot to the green. Almost three identical shapes. Almost three identical shots. Down to the bottom of the tee order. I believe that means that Metal Flake is first. We're going to throw the backhand turned adrift shot. So with these three are all displaying very similar flight characteristics in a tailwind. And these are displaying similar flight characteristics in a headwind, which is really surprising to me that these two fly so differently. Surprising that they fly differently depending on where the wind's blowing from. Same in a headwind, same in a tailwind. Don't understand. Back to the top of the, no. It is the Metal Flake shot first. Hopefully we don't turn them over into the woods, but the likelihood is pretty high. Well, if you just throw it straight up and down, it stands up. Let's try that again. Just slightly flip here. That is fun, but also not a shot that I need. Not a shot that I need. I need that same shot shape, just like 30 degrees less hyzer. And I think that the Vanish is actually going to be one of those discs that gives me that shot shape at the right amount of hyzer, or the amount of hyzer that I'm looking to throw. A little bit too low. Turn to the height. Okay, I want to go throw both the Vanishes on 7 again, because I think I'm fin throwing the Vanish wrong, because it's not a DD. It doesn't fly the same. I think I haven't been giving the Vanish quite enough credit, so we are going to take matters into our own hands, add an extra hole, or a hole that we already played, and we're just going to play it slightly differently. So instead of that steep hyzer over here, expecting the DD that's going to flip and turn into a roller, I'm going to expect that shot shape, no matter if it's a headwind or not, and I'm just going to throw it on a good amount of hyzer. So we're going to go slightly lighter prism and then slightly heavier with the actual gyro in the rim, because I think they're going to fly about the same actually, because parting line. Well, if you throw it into the ground, it's going to do that every time. That's the flight I want out of that disc. And that's into a headwind. Versus what I thought I was going to get out of this type of dip. That's stupid. That's so stupid. It shouldn't do that. There is something to gyro, but I think there's something more to Proton, and specifically Proton, something that MVP Axiom's doing. I think Proton is the most torque resistant plastic on the market right now, and it holds up its stability for a very long time. And we're going to revisit this obviously come January, February, and I'm going to redo my entire bag almost. But I think the Proton Vanish might happen to slip its way into the bag. So the O2E Open Prism Proton Vanish did just that. It vanished. So I'm out here playing enough. I will probably find it, or somebody will find it. If you find it, please return it. We're gonna end off with 2 shots. We're gonna throw 1 roller. I'm interested to see, because I can very rarely throw a roller, so it just turns into a roller on its own. Let me see what I can do. And then 1 more open field shot with the Vanish. Let's have a fun time. I mean, this field is about 400 feet, and that roller about 400 feet. That's a lot of fun. Let's see what we can get with the Vanish. Beautiful hyzer flip to S shape. Have so much fun with this stability of disc. Don't know which specific one is going to go in my bag, but that one has a pretty good chance of going in. Hopefully you enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.